Hey guys, today is all about wedding planning, and since Alex and I are about 6 months away from planning our own wedding, I know a lot of different ways to save money and I'm learning them every single day. So I thought I'd film this video for any of you guys who are planning your wedding or you have friends or something who are planning, but you never know when you're gonna need these tips, so I thought I might as well put this out there and let's get into them. Most of these tips will go along the lines of doing it yourself, whether it's designing your own invitations or creating your own centerpieces. Try to find a way to remove the help of professionals. So you can have your friends help, you can have your bridesmaids help, but if you can find a way to take work from people you have to pay to do it and do it yourself, that'll be a huge way to save money. So my first tip is design your own invitations and print them yourself. So I designed our save the dates that you saw in our last wedding update, and we printed them at Overnight Prints, and they rounded the corners and it looked awesome, and we got 100 for about $50. But if we were gonna go through someone else or a professional designer or whatever, it would have cost so much more. So find an invitation you like, and I'm sure you have a friend or someone who could mock something up that's very similar and then print them yourselves. That way you're gonna save a lot of money and you still get the kind of invitations you want without having to go through someone and spending like $4 per invite. I've saw invitations that were like $2.50 per invite, and then you have to pay for the envelopes, and it's just crazy. So if you really just accept the fact that you're probably not gonna have gold foiling, you'll be so much better off. I was so concerned right in the beginning. I really wanted something super pretty and metallic and wonderful, but then I realized it's just an invitation. It's not a huge deal. I'd rather spend that money on our house or something that's a little bit more important to us long term than just a piece of paper. If you do want to have a little something sparkly on your invitation, I know that Joann Fabric sells like invitation kits, so you can print off your own invitations at home on nice paper that has like detailing and stuff. So definitely check into that because you could always use a coupon and save a bunch of money. If you watched my last wedding update, then you'll know this tip, but I highly recommend buying fake flowers. They make them really realistic now, and you'll save like at least 4 times the money that you would pay for real flowers. We still are gonna do some real flowers, like our boutonnieres are gonna be real, and like we're gonna put in real greenery into the fake flowers. So it's called baby's breath, right? We're gonna add baby's breath and that sort of thing to kind of make it look a little bit more realistic. But we just went to Hobby Lobby and found some flowers, and I think it works out so well. I got the ones I wanted and the vibe I wanted, and I was able to pull all the flowers together and create bouquets while I was there to really get a sense of what they're gonna look like. And I didn't leave it to chance. I didn't leave it to some florist to decide what my flowers look like. So I really liked having the control. Plus, it was so much cheaper, and you get to keep them after. I said this in the wedding update, but I'm so excited to be able to keep my bouquet forever and use it as like a centerpiece or put it up in our kitchen or something. I'm so excited about that. Plus, we saved a lot of money. If you're trying to find ways to cut money somewhere else, I definitely recommend checking your guest list. So our wedding is only open to 150 people because our venue is so small that we're kind of forced into limiting our guest list in a really good way. I love that we can't just go crazy and invite a ton of people because I know we definitely would. So checking your guest list and deciding a set number, whether your venue determines that you have to have that, or you know if you cut 20 people, you're gonna save $2,000, that sort of thing. Look at your guest list and ask yourself, for each person, would my wedding not be the same without them? Would I notice their absence at the wedding? Are they so important to my life that if they're not there, it just wouldn't feel right? And I know for a fact you're gonna find some people that you're like, I like them. I mean, I hang out with them and I have a good time when I'm with them, but they are not pivotal to the entire wedding and feeling like it's what it's supposed to be. So I know it's gonna get a little tough, and you're gonna have that one obligation person that your parents swear has to come, but you don't really like them. If you're paying for your own wedding, you decide the guest list and you can cut that person and you will save so much money. Each person for a wedding is about $70 to $100 depending on where you're going. So if you can cut like 10 people, that's a lot of money. So definitely check out your guest list and see if there's any way to decrease it and make it a little more realistic. If you're trying to find deals on decor and that sort of stuff, there are a lot of Facebook groups that you can join in certain areas. So you can probably find one near you where everyone's doing like wedding swaps. So they will post photos of their fake bouquets or their table decorations, and you can buy things really affordably without having to get brand new stuff. Another way to save about $50 is do your own makeup. There are tons of tutorials on YouTube to do a more smoky eye if you want to, or something a little bit different than your usual look, or just have a friend do it. But saving that money on just your makeup is a huge, like, unnecessary cost. I'm definitely doing my own makeup. I love doing makeup, so it's already kind of a given, but it's a really nice way to just save a little bit here and there. And definitely with weddings, you're not going to be able to just cut something completely. You're like, no flowers. It's not going to happen. You're going to want some flowers. You're going to want a nice invitation. There are certain things that have to happen, like you gotta have cake or some form of dessert. But within those categories, you can find a way to make it more affordable. So you wanna get your hair done, so maybe have a friend do it, but then you do your own makeup or something like that. So there's always ways to cut down certain costs, and overall it'll be a big save. So I know it may seem like, oh, I'm just saving about $40 on my makeup. Why is that a big deal? But over the whole spectrum of the wedding, saving $40 here or there can really make a difference. This next tip I didn't intentionally try to do. I kind of accidentally ended up doing it, but I thought it was really helpful and saved us a lot of money in the long run. I went to a very expensive bridal shop starting out, and I tried on a bunch of different dresses, and they were elaborate and crazy in styles I never would consider, but I tried on so many different styles. I was able to figure out what I originally thought I wanted was not what I actually wanted. And I think just doing it in a nicer dress shop, you get a little more attention. They want to spend more time on you because you're spending way more money if you buy a dress there. But do your fancy first try on somewhere nice, find the style you like, and then find a more affordable option. I know David's Bridal definitely keeps an eye out on other dress shops and other brands and kind of coordinates what they're doing. Like, for example, if you go to Forever 21, their styles reflect what's popular in the trends, but you won't be spending $100. You'll only spend like $20. So go to a more affordable dress shop to actually buy your dress and find something similar to the style that you liked in the fancy place. That way you got the experience, you got to stand up in the room full of mirrors and be like all fancy and everything, but you're saving probably half the price of your dress. So I found a dress that I liked for like $1,600, and then my actual dress is about $800. And I love the dress that I got. It's exactly what I wanted because I went through that whole fancy experience. And I know that the dress is super important, but it's also just a dress. And you have to keep that in mind, that you're going to look great in anything. That's what the wedding's about. Like, you're just gonna look good because you're getting married to your best friend and you're naturally gonna look good. So why spend so much money on a dress that you're only gonna wear for that one day when you could spend money on the whole experience or for your honeymoon or something? You definitely have to figure out what's important to you and then work through that. Like, of course I would love a very, very expensive dress. Who wouldn't? We're girls, it's normal. But you have to be reasonable and understand that you could use that money somewhere else. As I said in the beginning, DIY is gonna be your best friend, and doing your own centerpieces is an easy way to shave off a lot of money, and you can make some really cool centerpieces for next to little money and not having to have someone do it for you. There are tons of blog posts and stuff out on the internet and on Pinterest about how you can make your own centerpieces. Alex and I are actually doing these kind of like urchin looking orb things. I'll see if I can add a photo in. We're actually gonna make them ourselves, but it's so easy to do and they look so good. And finding little ways like that just to make it a little bit more affordable is what this whole video is about. This final tip is a personal preference and one that I find important and I think will actually help you save money, but it's totally up to you on this one, but limit your bridal party. A smaller bridal party means you have to spend less on gifts. If you want to pay for their hair so all their hair looks the same, you'll save money on that, and it just adds a level of less stress. If you have like 6 to 10 bridal party people, you have to make sure they're all there at one time. They all have to try the dresses on. It's kind of like herding cats, but I have 4, and even then I find it a little bit difficult to get a couple of them to come to things. So I guess it kind of saves you money mentally, like a stress money. Is that a thing? Can your stress levels be determined by money? I don't know. I feel like it's a really good way to lower your stress though, and it will save you money in the long run. So these were just a few ways that I found that you can save a little cash when you're planning your wedding. Of course, there's tons of other ways. These are just the ones that are working for me that I wanted to pass along to you. Let me know in the comments below and any other brides-to-be your tips on saving money, or what you guys did for your weddings, or what you're currently doing, or what you plan to do. I would love just like an epic wedding conversation in the comments. So definitely get down there. Give this video a thumbs up if you like wedding updates and wedding related videos. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.